So welcome to my second stream, and yeah, finally I'm here inside the city, and this is where this is the point of the game where I need to decide how I'm going to play this game and where I'm going to join. But for now, my plan is to play as long as possible without joining to any friction or any other I don't know, group, society, or however. And first I will try to get as much experience points and to gain as much levels that I can without really having to do any fights. And because I will go outside the city and try to fight later. So the first thing that I normally do is talk with this guy. Actually, not this guy. I'm talking with a guy who's gonna give me the who's going to give me one spell to test it, and I'm going to test it on this guy. So he's gonna get. I'm gonna make him sleep, and I can rob those two chests from behind him.
Why can't anyone enter the storeroom?
The Honorable Lord Hagen has confiscated the goods for the King's army.
So in this storeroom there are some citizen clothes and also some one armor, light hunter's armor. So it's nice to have that one. And there are a couple of options how you can do this. A lot of, I mean, first time when I did this, it was climbing from here, but I kind of get lucky back then. It doesn't work always. You see now, I get it, but sometimes doesn't really happen. And from here you're gonna jump on the other roof, or maybe no, or maybe you're just gonna die. Doesn't matter. Sometimes happened that you can't really jump that long, and yeah, there is another way also. So my way how to get into this storeroom is to go from here. You can see the harbor from here and the mountains. So this is the easiest way for me. It's always been. And after that I just jump here. Here you need to move very slowly. So as you can see, leather armor, it has value from 250, and right now I don't have any kind of armor, so everything will be better than the thing that I have right now. So that's done. Just go slowly, because if you move a little bit forward, he's going to notice you. So some long battle, sausages, and some citizen clothes that doesn't really have any real weapon or weapon protection, or yeah, they have 10 weapon protection and 10 arrow protection, but I just normally I'm selling them always after I get the after I come to the point where I need money. Okay, doesn't matter. So if you can see right now, I just robbed the storage room. This guy doesn't even notice, and let me see what we got. So this is the most valuable thing that we get from there. It's leather armor or some citizen clothes, and only for just for fun wearing citizen clothes here around the city, I mean into the city. And yeah, another way, if you can't really jump from here, I mean the first option is always to go from here, and but doesn't really work actually. It just happened 10 minutes ago before I start filming, but right now it doesn't really work. But anyway, it's possible, but I would like to do from this side, just climbing over his wall. And another thing that it's also an option, you can come here and talk with this guy. He's some kind of alchemist, or yeah, and I think that he's going to give you a spell that he's working on, so you can try it. And it's a spell for putting somebody to sleep, and you can just come here and put the guard in front of the storage room to sleep, and you will just get inside and take everything very quickly while he's sleeping. So yeah, that would be all for this small quest. Okay, so let's just get some experience points. Talk with Vatras first and tell him that I have already spoke with Cavalorn. So we're going to deal with this guy Valentino later in the game, and all the others here are just citizens. So here is Vatras.
Adanos be with you.
Who are you?
I am Vatras, a servant of Adanos, the guardian of the divine and earthly equilibrium. What can I do for you?
Tell me about the Ring of Water.
And why would I do that?
Cavalorn sent me to you.
And what did he tell you?
He said you're in dire need of more good people.
Aha. So, you want to join us, son?
Actually, I forgot to read the letter before I give it to him. Okay.
Order and chaos were equal, and so the sea was created. And the sea released the land, and there arose all creatures, trees as well as animals, wolves as well as sheep, and last of all arose the human. And Adanos was pleased with what had arisen. He delighted in all the beings equally.
So Satyrus and the other guys, they are on the other part from the island. They are in some old ruins and study ancient culture, so they want to try to open that portal. So it's too early to talk about right now in this stage of the game, but doesn't matter. Let's just do it. Let's just continue.
Tell me about the Ring of Water.
And why?
Here, I've got a letter for you.
For me? Yes, but it's been opened. I hope it didn't fall into the wrong hands. Indeed. This is an important message you're bringing me. I wonder how you got hold of this letter.
I got it from Cavalorn, the hunter.
Cavalorn? Where is he?
He told me to tell you he couldn't make it and is headed for the meeting point. Whatever he meant by that.
I see that you have gained Cavalorn's trust. That speaks in your favor.
So, if you give him this stone tablet,
This stone tablet. Can you tell me more about it?
Those are artifacts from the old culture, which we have been investigating for some time. There are several kinds of them. Some contain information about the history of the ancient people, and that is the kind I am interested in. Bring me all of those that you can find. I shall give you an appropriate reward.
I've got another stone tablet for you.
Great. Here, take a few potions as a reward.
so you get experience from that, but yeah, doesn't really matter. Let's just try to load the game again and speak with Cavalorn. Yeah, but I didn't save when I got the clothes and the armor. Okay, doesn't matter. I will do that quickly again, and I will try to give him the letter without opening before. Doesn't really work always that easy like the first time. So let me make myself a citizen, or at least dressed like one.
But the light was a torment for Beliar. All that Innos created was destroyed by Beliar. Adanos be with you.
Who are you?
I am Vatras, a servant of what?
Right.
Tell me about the Ring of Water.
And why would I do that?
Cavalorn sent me to you.
And what did he tell you?
He said you're in dire need of more good people.
Aha. So, you want to join us, son?
Here, I've got a letter for you.
For me? important message you're bringing me. I wonder how you got hold of this letter.
I got it from Cavalorn, the hunter.
Cavalorn? Where is he?
He told me to tell you he couldn't make it and is headed for the meeting point. Whatever he meant by that.
I see that you have gained Cavalorn's trust. That speaks in your favor.
So you can give him the stone tablets, but I will not gonna do that right now because I will first I will like to see what can I do else, what else I can do with those tablets. I want to join the Ring of Water, yeah.
I want to join the Ring of Water.
You do? That means you have already fulfilled the first requirement.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, there must be someone among us who trusts you. Otherwise, you wouldn't even know about it. But I know nothing about you at all.
What do you want to know?
Well, you could tell me where you come from and why you have come to the city.
I carry an important message for the leader of the Paladins.
What is this message?
Terrible things are bound to happen soon.
Terrible things, hmm? How do you know this?
Yeah, I don't need to speak with him. Vardas, Zardas already told me that.
No, I heard rumors somewhere.
Aha! And that is why you have made this journey. Who are you really?
I'm a former convict, of
I'm a
course.
former convict from the penal colony of Corinus.
Good. Let us summarize. You are a former prisoner who heard rumors that terrible things are going to happen. And you have come to report this to the Paladins. I think there's something you're not telling me. If you're worried I might pass on what you tell me, then let me reassure you. I have sworn to keep all secrets I am entrusted with to myself.
And what about all the people here?
They only understand half of what I preach to them. So don't fret. Let's start over at the beginning. What's that message?
A large army is gathering as we talk, led by dragons and determined to conquer the country.
Dragons? You speak of beings which until now have only been mentioned in legends. How do you know this?
So there is no option that you can tell him about that Lester already saw them and Diego is sent to the colony back because he was spreading rumors. Actually, they are not rumors, it's true. But yeah, you also shouldn't tell anything about Zardas. But let's just try this with Zardas because I might also join them later. Always when I'm playing this game, I was always joining the militia, and becoming a paladin. So becoming a paladin, and after, I think that this time I will do something else.
Zardas, the magician, told me. He sent me to warn the Paladins.
The necromancer. So he lives, and he sent you. Who are you really?
I'm a former convict from the penal colony of Corinus.
Good. Let us summarize. You are a former prisoner who has been told by Zardas, the necromancer, that dragons have come to conquer the country. And you have come to report this to the Paladins. That all sounds rather fantastic, but I cannot perceive that you are lying to me. Therefore, I must assume that your motives are honorable. I want to give you a chance to join the Ring of Water.
Tell me about the Ring of Water.
Since you are not yet a member of our community, I cannot tell you everything, of course, but I shall tell you what I may.
Who are the members of the Ring of Water, then?
I cannot tell you that until you join the ring, but you will certainly have met some of them by that time.
Where are the other water mages?
They are exploring the ruins of an old culture northeast of Khorinis. We suspect that those ruins might contain a passage to a part of the island which is as yet uncharted.
Tell me more about that uncharted area.
If you're interested in joining the expedition, I could send you to Satyrus with a letter. You can only participate, of course, as long as you're one of us.
Of course. What exactly is it that you do?
We stand between the Order of Innos and the Chaos of Beliar. If one of the two sides should gain the upper hand, it will mean either total loss of freedom or deadly chaos. Therefore, we guard the balance between the two. That's what makes life in this world possible for all.
And what does that mean in concrete terms?
The fall of the barrier has evoked numerous threats. The bandits are probably the most obvious one. Not only has it become all but impossible to travel the island without being attacked, there's someone in town, too, who supports the bandits. We have found out that the bandits receive regular deliveries from a weapons merchant in Khorinis. We try to find such people and keep them from endangering the city. If you can find out anything about this, let me know.
What must I do in order to join the ring?
Know that you take on great responsibility by joining the ring. I do not let just anyone join who comes to us and asks. If you want to join the ring, you will have to prove that you act like one of us.
And that means...
Before we let a young man join our ranks, he must have done a great deed for the ring. Only then can I begin to consider letting you help preserve the balance of forces on this island.
I have vanquished the Sleeper. Isn't that a great enough deed?
My ears hear many a tale these days, including the story about the banning of the beast called the Sleeper. I have not heard that this was achieved by a single man, although your eyes tell me that you are convinced you did this. That confuses me slightly, but I cannot be sure that my senses might not deceive me sometimes.
I have freed many people. The barrier is gone.
Even if you can really claim responsibility for that. The great event in the Valley of Mines has not only set free the water mages and other upright citizens. All the criminals of the entire country are roaming Khorinis these days, harassing the population. The bandits have already taken over large areas of land outside the city. It has become all but impossible to leave the town and return unharmed.
So what would be an appropriate deed that might convince you?
Khorinis is facing a great enigma these days. The number of people missing from the town seems to increase almost daily. If you can explain to me what happened to them, you shall have your place within the Ring of Water. However,
Yes?
you should take your message to the Paladins first. I consider it a matter of utmost importance. Talk to Lord Hagen.
Is there anything that could help me with my search?
You're a very persistent young man. But I actually can think of something that could make your tasks easier for you. I shall give you this ore amulet. You'll certainly be able to use it. It is an amulet of the searching Will-o'-the-Wisps. There are only very few of them. The Will-o'-the-Wisps Will-o-the-Wisp that inhabits this amulet has very special properties. It can help you find things that normally elude the naked eye. You summon it by simply wearing the amulet. If it loses its power, or you cannot find it, simply put on the amulet again and it will reappear. The Will-o-the-Wisp can detect weapons. It could be very helpful to you in investigating the weapons deliveries to the bandits. Treat it well, and it will never fail you.
Can the Will-o-the-Wisp do more than that?
More than look for close combat weapons? Not unless you teach it. I think Riordian knows how to teach these beings. He is one of us, currently traveling with Satyrus. Perhaps he can tell you more.
A Will-o-the-Wisp in an amulet?
Will-o-the-Wisps are admirable creatures. They consist of pure magical energy. They are bound to the magical ore in this world. It is their origin. It gives them their strength. I'm not surprised that you've never heard of them. They only appear to the person who bears the ore to which they belong. Will-o-the-Wisps living in the wild have been forcefully removed from their sources. They will attack anyone who approaches them. There is no way to help those pitiful creatures. You would better stay away from them.
Thank you. I shall take good care of it.
Wait. I'd like you to do me a little favor. Go down to the harbor. You'll find a man there named Laris. Give him this ornament and tell him that it needs to be returned. He'll know what to do with it.
So that was anyway my plan, what to do next here, talking with Laris actually, and after that I will talk with Lord Hagen. So let's just assume that this time I will join the Ring of Water, and yeah, I will just I know that Laris and Cavalorn are members of the Ring of Water, and I think Laris is even remembering me.
I must be crazy. What are you doing here?
Hey, Laris, you old scoundrel, how did you get here?
I was able to escape to the Valley of Mines just in time, together with Lee and some of the other boys. You remember Lee, don't you?
Of course I remember Lee.
I got out of the colony with him then, just after the barrier was destroyed. He and his boys are now on the farm of Onar, the landowner. He made a deal with the farmer. He and his boys defend the farm, and Onar feeds them in return.
Vatras sent me. He told me to come to you when I needed help.
So you've already been to see Vatras? You must have made a lasting impression on him. Otherwise, he certainly wouldn't have volunteered my name. Especially not since the matter with those missing people still hasn't been resolved. Tell me what you need.
Vatras gave me this ornament to bring to you. He said it is to be taken back.
Of course. It's up to me, as usual. I might have known. I'll have to walk halfway across the island to take it back to the water mages.
So
What exactly do you do here at the harbor?
I can't talk about that. Vatras would have my head.
About those missing people. Tell me what you know.
The first was William, one of the fishermen here in Corinus. One day, he simply didn't return. At first, we thought that one of those sea monsters out there had eaten him in his boat for breakfast. But not too long afterwards, other people started disappearing from the town and the surroundings. Pretty random events, though. Everyone everyone's at a loss so far. The way it looks, we'll just have to wait until we finally stumble across a clue.
Isn't this a case for the militia?
The militia is pretty useless if you ask me. They're never going to clear this up. The missing people have just vanished into thin air.
I must talk to the paladins by any means.
What do you want from them?
They've got a powerful amulet, the Eye of Innos. I must have it.
And you think they'll give it to you? You'll never get into the upper end of town.
Do you know why the paladins are here?
Nobody knows for sure. Lots of people think it's because of the orcs, but I think there's another reason. It probably has something to do with the old penal colony.
Vatras said you could help me join a community.
Getting tired of being the underdog, are you? All right, I see your point. I can exert my influence with the mercenaries if you want to join Lee. And I'm sure we can find a way to get you into the monastery soon. But the easiest thing would certainly be for you to join the militia. Which community do you prefer?
Okay, let's just try with the mercenaries or fire mages. I'm not sure with which one I need to go, but I will think about it. Yeah.
I'll have to think about it. So what's your business with Vatras?
I've got this little agreement with the water mages, you see.
What kind of an agreement?
We work for them, and they see to it that our past in the penal colony doesn't get us into trouble.
You're talking about the Ring of Water?
You've heard of it?
Vatras told me about it.
You might have mentioned that right away.
Tell me more about Lee and his mercenaries.
What do you want to know?
How do I find the landowner's farm?
It's quite simple. You leave the seaport by the east gate and then follow the path towards the east. I can take you there if you want.
Why aren't you with Lee and his mercenaries?
But I am, just not on the farm. You could say I'm our outpost in the city. We don't want the ship to sail without us.
Tell me more about the mercenaries.
Well, if you're as tough as you were back then, you shouldn't have any problems with them. Most of them are ruffians, and if you can't stand up to them, you won't get far. If you're squeamish, you don't have a chance of joining them.
What ship were you talking about?
It's on the open sea harbor, behind the cliffs. Lee and a few of his people really want to get away from here, but that could take a while.
Why?
You'd better ask Lee about that. If you meet him, he's got plans.
Can you teach me something?
Sure. I can help you become stronger and more dexterous if you like.
So this is where we're gonna learn something, but first I will try to organize myself better, like what I'm going to learn first, because if you can see, I have a nice one-handed weapon that requires 20 of dexterity, and I have also two-handed weapon, but I'm very far away for mastering two-handed weapons. And one thing that I definitely do always here in the game is I'm always mastering the bow, because I like using bows, also crossbows, but I really like the bows actually. And for this bow, or for any bow here, you will definitely going to need some more dexterity. And if you always try to find around weapons that like this one, for example, they will all of them will be one-handed weapon, and there are a couple of them in the games. I will show you how to find all of them. The thing is, with a little bit dexterity and mastered from one-handed weapon, you will definitely can go through the half game probably. And yeah, anyway, in a certain point of the game, you really need to have a lot of dexterity, but anyway, I mean a lot of strength in order to use a real strong two-handed weapon. But I'm always gonna start with the dexterity, because I really like to master the bow. So yeah, doesn't matter. Here with Lares we can learn some dexterity. And how much dexterity actually I need to use this bow. So I need 20 and I have 10, so that's mean I need to have another 10. So I will ask him to teach me some dexterity.
You've already got.
And the other the other 10 points I will save it for later, because anyway I don't really have other weapon right now. So, and I'm not really planning to do any fights right now, so that's why I will just leave it there. And as you can see, now I can take this weapon.
Hey, you! About those missing people. Tell me more about the Ring of Water.
The ring is to the water mages what the paladins are to the fire magicians. But, unlike the paladins, we operate in the background. The ring is a mighty weapon in the battle against the dangers that threaten the people of Corinus. But this only works as long as we keep the identity of all those secret who belong to the Ring of Water. So keep this to yourself.
Sure. I need your help.
And what exactly were you thinking of?
What about some better armor?
Mateo sells armor, but he'll probably charge you an arm and a leg for it. There is a way you could get it cheaper, though, if you don't mind pulling a fast one on the militia.
What do you mean?
There's a storage area next to Mateo's house.
No, we have
But all the
already done
merchandise
this.
has been confiscated by the militia. Go to Zurus at the marketplace and get yourself a sleeping spell. Then you send the guards off to Dreamland. I'm sure you'll find some decent armor among Mateo's stock.
I need a better weapon.
There's nothing I can do about that, I'm afraid. Have you tried the marketplace?
I can take the ornament there for you.
I think I'd better take it there myself. But you could come with me. Only, I can't leave here at the moment. I need to keep an eye on the harbor.
Okay, this is everything that I need to talk with Lares right now. The only thing that it comes on my mind right now is because he mentioned William, and I think that there is one guy here, one fisherman who was friend with William or something. Let's just see if he is still around.
You're a fisherman?
Now, how did you ever guess that? Can't you simply leave me alone? Don't take it personally, but I haven't been too happy lately. It's that militia.
Trouble with the militia?
Those bastards keep coming here and taking whatever they want. Last week, they made off with my entire catch. It's for a good cause, they said. I know that everybody's got to fend for himself since the farmers have stopped trading. And, of course, sometimes people just go hungry. Small wonder that they're snatching the fish from right under my nose. But if they keep doing this, I won't even have enough to feed myself.
Have you talked to the paladins about this?
Are you joking? Do you really think they'd be interested if a poor devil like me has his problems with the militia?
Maybe I can help you.
I don't know. I suppose you'd have to know somebody from the militia who has connections to the paladins. The paladins will hardly buy the fish from me.
I shall see what I can do. Can you tell me something about the missing people?
My friend William started hanging out with a bunch of shady characters. And where did it get him? One day he simply didn't show up for work. And that's the last we saw of him.
Your buddy William has disappeared?
So he has. He's a fisherman, but a little too big for his boots, I should add. He should have stayed well away from that bunch.
When did you last see him?
Only a few days ago.
Maybe he just went out to sea to fish.
That's not very likely. His boat is still moored in the harbor.
What's he been up to?
William had some shady dealings with those crooks. I think it was all about contraband that he sold to the bastards.
What bastards would those be?
I don't know who they are or what their business is here in Corinus. I only know the place where they met up with William. I just happened to see William there when I was fishing in the bay.
Where exactly is that meeting place?
There's a bay opposite the harbor, north of here. You can only reach it by boat or swim. There's a beach there and a small fishing camp. That's where I saw them.
I think I've heard enough.
Spare yourself the effort. I don't believe you'll find him.
So, how are the fish biting?
I've seen better times. Too little to live on, too much to die.
So he was talking about that beach where the pirates are actually. So you should probably know that if you're trying to cook your meat, it's gonna have more value, or it's gonna give you more energy. So it's always nice to do that. It's kind of boring, but yeah, doesn't matter. He was talking about that beach on that faraway horizon that we are seeing from here, and yeah, let's just take everything from here that we can, and yeah, let's just assume that I wanna join the Ring of Water or the mercenaries, and I'm already on that road. So first I will talk with Lord Andre, and after I will go with Lares to bring that ornament or whatever in the tower, and after that I think that I will go and talk with and go on that beach where the pirates are. So let's just do it. There are some nice places here around. I mean, nice stuffs that you can get if you're exploring. For example, this leather full of gold, and this scroll, and I don't really remember for other stuffs, but I think that you can find something. Just try to explore here around. So I will try to speak with Lord Andre. I'm not sure if I can help this fisherman by talking with Lord Andre and reporting that the militia has bothering him, but let's see.
Inos be with you, stranger. What brings you to me?
I've got an important message for Lord Hagen.
Well, you stand before one of his men. What is this about?
It's about a sacred artifact, the Eye of Inos.
The Eye of Inos. I have never heard of it, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. If there truly is an artifact of this name, only the highest members of our order would know anything about it. In any case,
That's why I have to talk to Lord Hagen himself.
Lord Hagen receives only paladins, or those who are in the service to paladins. It is beneath his dignity to waste his time with members of the common folk.
Why are you paladins in town?
The goals of our mission are secret. I can only tell you that there is no danger for the citizens of the town. You need not worry.
About those missing people.
Just leave me alone with that. I've got other problems.
I want to take up service with the paladins.
Good. I can well use every able man here, no matter what his reasons for joining us. If you place yourself in the service of the Paladins, I shall help you get an audience with Lord Hagen. However, I have my orders only to accept citizens of the town into the militia. My commander is afraid that spies or saboteurs could sneak in. He wants to limit the risk this way. Therefore, you must first be a citizen of the town. Whether this rule makes sense or not is disputable, but orders are orders.
Is there a faster way to join you?
You're really serious about this, aren't you? Good. Listen, I have a problem. If you solve it for me, I shall see to it that you are accepted into the militia. But the most important thing is, you must not breathe a word of it to anyone.
What's your problem?
Recently, there have been a number of thefts in the city. Thus far, we have not been able to capture anyone. The thieves are simply too skillful. The scum know their business. I'm sure that we're dealing with an organized gang. It would not amaze me if there were a thieves guild in Corinus. Find the leaders of the gang and hunt them down. Then I shall see to it that you are accepted into the militia, regardless of whether or not you are a citizen. But you must say nothing about our agreement.
Where should I start looking for the thieves?
If I knew that, I'd go there myself. I can only tell you this much. We recently turned the entire harbor district upside down and found nothing. Absolutely nothing. The people there are not very talkative, particularly if you wear the armor of a paladin. But you are an outsider. They will not distrust you so quickly. You could ask around the harbor first, but be careful. If the people there realize that you are working for the paladins, you will learn nothing.
What should I do once I've found one of the thieves?
If it's a matter of a lackey, a henchman, or some small fry, it would be best if you avoid a fight. You should rather come to me and report. I shall then see to it that the fellow winds up behind bars. The city guard could intervene in an open battle, and you would not have the opportunity of explaining to them what is going on. Furthermore, there is a bounty for every rotten apple you put behind bars. However, if you locate the leader's hideout, well, then you probably won't be able to avoid a fight.
What should I expect with the militia?
Let me make one thing clear. To be a soldier of the militia means much more than strolling through the city in a uniform. It is a dirty and even bloody job. Once you are one of us, a great deal of work will be waiting for you. But it is worth it. Besides the pay, you might someday have the chance of becoming a holy warrior of Vinnos.
I've come to collect the bounty for a criminal.
So we just find out what we need to do in order to join the militia, but doesn't matter. It's getting dark and they all go to sleep right now. I'm not allowed to go here. Okay, I was about to try to find a place for sleep.
What do you want here?
I want to see the prisoners.
All the cells are empty at the moment.
What can you tell me about this area?
These are the barracks. Where do you want to go?
Thanks, that's all I wanted to know.
So we will come here and steal a lot of stuffs later. Let's just use Constantino's bed to sleep. So remember, if you're not ready to fight, to avoid this guy here at the beginning, because he's gonna attack you. He's just a trouble. Let's just talk with Lars first and ask him to bring me to the tavern.
Hey! Okay, let's go.
I cannot leave here until we know more about the missing people, or someone else takes over my duties.
Oh yeah, I need to find somebody who's going to replace him, or he's know about the
About
people
those missing people.
more. Okay, then in that case, let's just go on the other side on that beach. I'm not sure if I can do it right now, but I will definitely try. And this is how you can go under the city, but that's a different video that I'm going to make for that.
There you are at last. I've been waiting here for hours. Just a moment. You're not a merchant from town, are you? Where is Baltram? Who are you? I don't see how that's any of your business. But if you must know, my name is Skip. Does that ring a bell? Who? Are you telling me you've never heard of Skip? Holy shit! Where do you live? I'm one of Corinus's most wanted criminals. Me and my boys have been the scourge of the waters around this crummy island for years. Come on, you must have heard of me. But of course, it's all coming back to me now. Honestly, you've really heard of me before? Oh shit! And I had been thinking of strolling into town. Good thing I didn't. The militia would have put me in the slammer right away. Baltram, you're waiting for a merchant? Smart kid, aren't you? That's what I just said, isn't it? That good-for-nothing junk merchant seems to have forgotten me. If only I could get my hands on him. Where do you come from? You want to know where our hideout is? If I tell you that, I might as well invite the militia to arrest me. And in case you would like to pay us a visit, it wouldn't help you in the least. The island of Corinus is large, and no one ever gets to where we are anyway, unless they have a cog or some other ship. And then you'd have to find your way through the cliffs as well. Nobody gets through there unless they know the secret path. There are only 2 people who know the path, and you're not one of them. A lot of citizens are missing, and everything seems to indicate that you're not quite innocent in the matter. Damn it. It's not what you think it is. Do I look like a slave trader to you? No, I only transport goods. What they are and where they come from is no concern of mine. We have shipped all kinds of things for those swine. First, it was just regular stuff. Well, sometimes it may have been contraband. But then they started to kidnap the inhabitants of the city. No idea what they're planning to do with them. All we did was ferry them across. Where did you take those people? I already told you. I'm not going to tell you where our bay is. Who are you talking about? The bandits, of course. Who else? The filthy scum who are making themselves at home all over the island. And not just here, around Corinus.
Just bandits isn't good enough for me. I want a name.
A name? You want to know who's leading the bandits? Damn it! What was that bastard's name again? I just can't recall his name. Even if it wasn't all that complicated. But I can show you where to find the boss of the gang in this part of Corinus. Have you got a decent map?
No.
Then I guess I'll have to give you a description. There's a very big farm far to the east. The farmer's name is Onar, I think. He's got some fairly large fields. To the south of those fields, there's a small fortress on a high cliff. That's where you'll find your man. I remember his name now.
Dexter, yeah.
I think they called him Dexter.
Where did you take those people?
I already told you. I'm not going to tell you where our bay is.
So, okay. So we know where Dexter is, and now I also know that Baltram, I don't know what his name was actually, working with the pirates, and I will talk with him also. What was the next thing that I need to do? Yeah, I need to speak with Larus right now and see if this information is good enough for him to leave his post here in Corinus. And right now I just gather everything that I can get from here for free. And if you continue here, you will come, I think, on other beach, and there are going to be some lizards and you need to fight them. But I will do this next time, because I will definitely be back here, and right now I'm not even strong enough to fight with anybody. So if you can find somebody who's going to bring you to some place, it's always good if you just take that opportunity, because in this point of the game he's going to help you, or he's gonna kill all the animals on the roads for you, and you will get the experience for that. And yeah, of course you can help, but yeah, you don't need to.
About those missing people.
So it's still not good enough. Okay. Then I'm gonna cut this video here right now and continue next time, because I will make a full video how you can join the water mages or the mercenary. But let's just try to fight this guy. If I can fight him right now, let me just see. I I forgot his name, but I will try to fight him. Mo, yeah, exactly.
Hey, I don't know you. What do you want here? Are you headed for the tavern?
So she don't really have an armor, so I might still have some chance against him.
Yes, do you mind?
You've got no business here, Rut.
Are you trying to make trouble for me?
Sure, I'm a master at making trouble. So defend yourself, Rut.
Yeah, still not strong enough for that. Okay, let's see. Pirate trade. The missing people. The man with the eye patch. Okay. And as I said before, if somebody want to bring you somewhere, one of the guys that's going to bring you to the monastery, it's this Ulf, and yeah, he's gonna kill a lot of animals for you.
Hey you, I have a proposition for you.
What do you want?
I want my old stall in the marketplace back. Sarah snatched it away from me, but she has had that spot long enough. I want her to give up the stall.
And what's my part in this?
I will give you a letter to stick in her pocket. Then you go to Andre and tell him that Sarah is selling weapons to Onar. She lands in. You have 2 days.
No.
What I have.
Okay, it doesn't matter. I will do a separate video for this. I will.
All right. I've got a
Suit you?
Let's just load again. Just go from this side. So this guy here, Kantar, or I don't know what exactly his name is, he's want to take his old place because he used to be a merchant, and he want to set up Sarah like she's the one that handling weapons with the bandits, and this is why he's going to make me some kind of offer, and I need to put some leather to her pocket or to her stuff, so she will get arrested. But of course I'm not gonna do it. Let's just talk with her first.
How's business?
When the Paladins came, I first thought that it was a good business opportunity, but they let Herod make their weapons, and neither Hakon nor I make even one gold piece off them. Moreover, the farmers no longer supply us with food, and all the prices have gone up. It's only a small consolation that the Paladins are paying my hotel bill.
What's the problem with the farmers?
They refuse to deliver their goods. Now that the ships no longer come in, the city depends entirely on the supplies provided by the farmers, of course. And Onar, the largest farmer, has hired mercenaries to protect his farm from the city guards. Otherwise, they simply snatch the goods for themselves. But the mercenaries don't just guard Onar's farm. They come as far as the small farms outside of town to intimidate the farmers. I saw them as I was passing Akil's farm. I wouldn't like to be in his shoes now.
Where will I find Akil's farm?
If you go out of the east gate here and follow the road to the right, you'll come to a stairway. It leads up to Akil's farm, but I wouldn't go there now. The mercenaries are certainly still there.
Show me your wares.
So you can buy some weapons here right now. I don't have interest in that. Let's just talk with this stupid guy.
Hey you, I have a proposition for you.
What do you want?
I want my old stall in the marketplace back. Sarah snatched it away from me, but she has had that spot long enough. I want her to give up the stall.
And what's my part in this?
I will give you a letter to stick in her pocket. Then you go to Andre and tell him that Sarah is selling weapons to Onar. She lands in prison. You pocket the bounty, and I get the stall. You have 2 days to accomplish this.
What's in it for me?
When I have the stall, you will get a weapon from me, and a damned good one.
All right, looks like I've got no choice.
You're a clever lad. Here is the letter.
How am I supposed to force the letter on her?
Let her show you her wares, and while she does, you hide the letter on her. And bear in mind, I am an influential man in the city, so don't try to play me for a fool.
I've got to go.
Suit yourself.
So let's try to do the both options. I will first save here. And I will first put the letters into the Sarastafs and report to Andre, and after that I will load the old save file again and report him to Andre. So I want to cover both ways.
Show me your wares.
This is that letter. You just put it in her stuff. She's not gonna notice. Let's talk with Andre. And let's see what kind of weapon this guy gonna give me.
I've come to collect the bounty for a criminal. Sarah is selling weapons to Onar.
Sarah? The weapons merchant in the marketplace? Do you have proof of that?
She has a letter in her pocket which details the delivery of arms to him.
She won't get away with that. I shall have her arrested.
So let's talk with Hunter first.
Well done. Sarah is where she taken over her goods, so if you need a weapon, come to me.
You were going to give me a weapon.
Correct. Here, this weapon is a masterpiece of the blacksmith's art.
I've got to go.
Suit yourself.
So which weapon supposed to be this one? So it's this here. Of course it's a nice weapon, but I can't use it right now, and this is not the whole point. Let's see what's happened to the other scenario. So I get his letter and I'm going to report him to Lord Andre. Oh, I forgot to talk with Sarah until when she's in the prison, but it doesn't really matter.
I've come to collect the bounty for a criminal. Canthar the merchant is trying to get rid of Sarah.
Sarah, the weapons merchant in the marketplace?
I was supposed to foist a letter on Sarah, which claimed that she's supplying weapons to Onar.
I see. I shall gladly pay the bounty for that bastard. He is already as good as behind bars.
So let's see if he's already behind the bars. Here he is.
I warned you, but you wouldn't listen. We will discuss this later. Now get lost. I want to rest.
So yeah, she's gonna try to send somebody for you later in the game, but that's not our concern right now. Let's just see if Sarah gonna say something for that.
There you are again.
Canthar was trying to trick you and to get your booth for himself, but I've turned him over to the city guard.
Then you've made an enemy of a dangerous man. I've known the bastard for a long time, and he's always wanted my place for himself. Take this weapon as a token of my gratitude.
So if this is what I think that it is, yeah, it's one-handed weapon and it's a strong one. So yeah, you can really use this weapon even if you don't you didn't learn you didn't master two-handed weapons, and with this weapon you can really go through the half of the game. Of course you need the strength for that, but yeah. So this is the marketplace, and we will talk with all these guys here. They all gonna give us some different quests, but this is end for this video right now. And this is also end for this stream. I'm gonna end it here, and yeah, until tomorrow night.